This is Chapter 12, Statistics Review. And today we're going to put all our chi-squares together. All right, so we have goodness of fit, homogeneity, and independence. And specifically, what we're going to work on today is how do we tell which chi-square test to do? Because given a problem, it's not going to tell you which lesson it's from. So how do we tell? Okay, so we're going to be practicing with some problems. If you want to print those out for yourselves first, you can feel free to do that, or you can go ahead and just follow along virtually. All right, so here are my tips and tricks on how to tell which chi-square test to do. All right, so the first thing you want to look at is, or ask yourself, is how many categorical variables do we have? All right, so the first thing is you got to make sure that the variables are categorical to be even doing a chi-square test. So check to see if the variables you have are categorical, and then ask yourself, well, how many categorical variables do I have? So if the answer to that question is 1, then it's automatically a goodness of fit test. All right, so if there's only one categorical variable, it's a goodness of fit test, and then you're done. All right, now if the answer is 2, then it's either going to be homogeneity or independence. All right, so look at how many variables are there. Okay, now to determine whether it's homogeneity or independence, what you want to do is you want to look for keywords. So for homogeneity, you want to look for words like, are the distributions the same or are they different? Okay. Now, if it's a chi-square test for independence, you're going to look for keywords like, are the variables related? Are they associated? Does one affect the other? All right, and that's how you tell between the chi-square test for homogeneity versus independence. So again, the first thing you want to check is, are the variables categorical? The answer is yes, then we are doing a chi-square test. The next thing you want to ask is, how many categorical variables are there? The answer is 1, then it's goodness of fit. If the answer is 2, then it's homogeneity, or independence. And then to determine between homogeneity or independence, look for those keywords. Okay? All right, so let me show you how that's done with our just checking questions over here. All right, so the first question is asking, a restaurant manager wonders whether customers who dine on Friday nights have the same preferences among the 4 chef specials entrees as those who dine on Saturday nights. One weekend, he has the waitstaff record which entrees were ordered each night. Assuming these customers to be typical of all weekend diners, he'll compare the distributions of meals chosen Friday and Saturday. All right, so the first thing you want to locate is the variables. So what you want to do is you want to pretend that you are one of these customers. All right, you are actually getting one of these surveys. And you want to ask yourself, well, what questions are they asking me? All right, so what question or what questions are they asking me? So every customer, or you as the customer, will be asked 2 things in this case. One is whether you dined on Friday or Saturday. And the second question is, well, which entree did you choose? So you see, those are the 2 variables that are happening in this problem. And they're both categorical. Friday, Saturday, that's categorical, and which entree. So since we have 2 categorical variables, I know it's either going to be homogeneity or independence. So now I'm going to look for those keywords. So here I see whether or not they have the same preferences among the 4 chef special entrees. So keyword being the same. All right, so that keyword tells me that this is going to be a chi-square test for homogeneity. Chi-square test for homogeneity. All right, let's go ahead and try number 8. So number 8, it says, company policy calls for parking spaces to be assigned to everyone at random, but you suspect that they may not be so. There are 3 lots of equal size, Lot A next to the building, Lot B a bit further away, and Lot C on the other side of the highway. You gather data about employees at middle management level and above to see how many were assigned parking in each lot. All right, so at this point, just imagine yourself as one of these employees at middle management level and above to see how many were assigned parking in each lot. So if you are one of these employees, the question you want to ask yourself is, well, what question are they asking me? So it seems like they're just asking, are you in lot A, lot B, or lot C? It doesn't say that it asks about, what level of employee are you. It just says, all right, which lot are you in? So because there's only one categorical variable, number 8 should be goodness of fit. All right, chi-square test, chi-square goodness of fit test. Okay, let's try number 9. So it says, is a student's social life affected by where the student lives? A campus survey asks a random sample of students whether they live in a dormitory, in off-campus housing, or at home, and whether they have been out on a date 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5 or more times in the past 2 weeks. Okay, so you want to imagine that you are one of these students in the sample, and the surveyor is asking you questions. And so the questions they're asking is, well, where do you live? And how many dates have you been on? All right. So we see we have 2 categorical variables. So it's either going to be homogeneity or independence. So now I look for keywords. Okay. So here, is student social life affected by where the student lives? So keyword affected tells me that this is going to be a chi-square test for independence. All right, so those are some examples for you guys. Why don't you go ahead and try some of these on the bottom? All right, so here, ask which tests. Now this one's a little bit different because now they're giving you 4 options. You can either have a chi-square goodness of fit test, a chi-square test of homogeneity, chi-square test of independence, or some other statistical test. All right, so that means if the variable is not categorical, then you have to choose other. All right. Another note I want to give you guys is make sure you don't look for keywords too soon. I think that's the temptation when you read through some of these. Make sure you go through the steps. Ask yourself, what are the variables? How many variables are there? And then look for keywords. So don't jump to keywords first and then decide, okay? All right, go ahead and pause the video. Decide for just, let's do number 1 first. A, B, and C. Decide which test to do or other, and then unpause for the answer. All right, so here are the answers for number 1. All right, so number 1A, this is going to be a chi-square test of independence. All right, we have 2 variables, which is the type of account the customer has and then the type of trades. All right, so we have 2 categorical variables, and then we want to see a keyword there. So we see effects is our keyword that makes it independence. All right, part B, the answer for this one is other. And the reason why it's other is because the variable in this problem is the size of the account in dollars. So this is a numerical variable. So that means we would not do a chi-square test for 1B. All right, and 1C, the answer would be homogeneity. All right, now the variables here would be, let's see, the courses chosen, and then whether it's a residential or non-residential student. All right, so we have 2 categorical variables, and so looking for keywords now, we see different. All right, we want to see if it's different, so that would be homogeneity. Okay, why don't you guys try it again? Go ahead and try number 2, A, B, and C. Pause the video, and once you have your answers, unpause. and I will tell you my answers and we'll see if we match. All right, so the answers for 2, part A, is goodness of fit. All right, so this one was a little bit tricky because the question is the quality of car affected by what day it was built? So a lot of students, if they jump straight for keywords, they would think independence. But remember, you don't want to look for keywords first, you want to look for how many categorical variables there are. So if you were in this sample, basically you're looking at warranty claims. And each warranty claim is basically asked the question, which day of the work week were you filed? So that's one variable, right? So that's either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So that's one variable, which day of the work week. So because of that, part A is goodness of fit. Goodness of fit. All right, B, the answer here is other. So looking at the variable, this is cholesterol level in milligrams. So this is a numerical variable, so we would not do a chi-square test for this one. All right, and part C, the answer would be a chi-square test for independence. We got political leaning as one variable and choice of major as the other. All right, both categorical. And now I look for keywords and I see is related to as my keyword there. So that would be a chi-square test for independence. All right, so hopefully you guys are feeling more comfortable about knowing what to ask yourself to know which chi-square test to do. To do a little more practice with it, I recommend going to a website, and what you can do is you can just Google choosing correct inference method, and it's this one right here. All right, where it says www.ltcconline.net. All right, and then what you can do is you can just focus on your chi-squares. Okay, so I think you guys have seen this before in class. So uncheck, let's just do none. Go ahead and just choose the chi-square test, submit, and then you can practice with these problems. All right, so is blood type related to astrological sign? So we have blood type categorical, astrological sign categorical, 2 categorical variables, keyword related. So this would be independence. You scroll down, you can see if you get it right. All right, so just some extra practice for you guys if you want to just practice choosing the right method. Okay? All right, so once you're done with that, now to practice the actual chi-square test, I have a practice test for you. All right. So you can go ahead and print this out, and I'll have it attached to our Google Classroom. Okay, so we have local vending machines about drink flavor. If you scroll down, or if you look at the next page, we have this one and this one. All right, so we have 3 problems for your practice test. Go ahead and try that, and then I'm going to also attach the answer key so you guys can go ahead and check. In fact, let me show you the answer key. And you can see on the answer key I have these numbers which represent points. All right, so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so these are all points that I would give you on a quiz. So you can even give yourself a grade once you kind of get through all of that, and the total would be out of 33. Okay, so go ahead and try the practice quiz, and then once you're ready, go ahead and can check the answer key and see how you guys did.